Oh, there you go.
20,
and now, there we go. So,
my name's Jacob, by the way, so
nice to meet you.
So just a little bit of backstory for me. I've seen this as a kid. Like when I was growing up in game stores, I saw the logo all the time at different stores. But I backed Kickstarter, and I don't know, I honestly tried to remain blind to most of it. So I'm coming in with ATCG, so I play Magic, question cards, so for me, I'm kind of looking at similarities, differences, kind of Gencon mechanics, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
How I approach some of the, maybe the questions I might ask, because I do exist in TCG.
Good. How is your RPG? Do you play tabletop games, DD?
Yep, DD a little bit. I mean, I don't run the DM side, but I play.
Right,
but
sure.
I'm trying to learn the DM side.
Sure. Are we going or not going?
It is, at this point, now we're recording, so we're good.
Okay. So if you're familiar with TCGs and TTRPGs, then you already know probably 90% of the rules of this game when you start. It is very, very TTRPG heavy. It's essentially like D&D. It is based very heavily on mechanics from 5 or 5th edition D&D that was created. So if you look at a character, you see you've got your attack, you've got your AC, your class, you've got a level, you've got skill, and you've got hit. So just like in D&D,
the symbols make sense, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so just like in D&D, you take wounds. As soon as you take wounds,
so damage is permanent.
Or damage is static on the character. Damage is static on the characters. Yeah. So yes. So they suffer wounds. So this guy's got 4. Mine only has 3. So the purpose of the game is to basically be the last warlord standing. So in a 1v1, it's kill the opposing warlords and win the game. It's not take out everything. You don't have to kill all the things. As long as you've gotten rid of the warlord, you're good to go. As you see, you have a structure here.
Okay.
So you always start out with your rank structure is called as having 3 level 1 characters in your first rank, 2 level 2 characters in your second rank, and your level 1.
And these start the game out, like as in this is not part of my deck, this is a pick and go. Is there like a point-based system of how you decide how to do that?
No, it's just if this is a level 1 character and it doesn't have something on it that says it can't start and play for some reason, then you can choose that as your starting level 1 character. So like this deck has other level 2 characters in it. So I can start this if I want to. It has an ETB, so like that would be dumb, but or in this game it's in a reaction they're playing. So you can start that, but it is 50 card decks. These are 30 card decks. But normally it is a 50 card deck, including your starting army. So your starting army is considered a part of your deck, and can be essentially used like a sideboard. There's no sideboard in this game. So in between games and a match, but you can swap out.
So with a 50 card deck, I see 6 here. So that means that the match we have over here was just 4, give or take?
50 card deck, so 44. And that's not maximum, it's minimum 50, so you can have someone at the end. The other restriction is that your deck cannot contain more than 50% of the same card type. So you got 3 basic card types. You've got characters, guys, items, which are equipment you can use and actions, which are your single-use type stuff you use it. There are also interrupts type things for actions, which would be reacts. There are actions that are also reacts. So there is player-to-player interaction, unlike if you were playing like Pokemon or something where it's just 1-1. It's more like a Magic type dynamic where you're
Where do you put this game as far as I guess, complexity level in like the stair step system. Not trying to cornhole things particularly, just like is it an entry level friendly, a mid level?
I would say it is entry level friendly. I would like if I was to describe games on a ranking of like Pokemon to Magic or something. I'd put it probably in the middle, maybe lower middle for learning the game. Especially if you're someone who's familiar with RPGs or with some card games. Mechanically, there's not a resource-based system like so many things have these days. It's just based on like level, so you have to meet the requirements to play the things. But other than that, it's not like I have to like discard a card to play a guy or tap something to pay a cost to get a thing.
If somebody back to Kickstarter and they're getting like me, that I'm going to be getting decks in the future, these are not a version. These are not a version of those. These Warlords are the starter deck Warlords. So this is the Nothra starter deck Warlord. This is the Elf starter deck. Basic being able to play your stuff. It's also not a game where I do all of my stuff, now you go and do all your stuff. It's I do a thing, you do a thing, I do a thing. So it's, in this game they're called orders, so I do an order, you do an order, I do an order, you do an order. And yes, you got some quick reference there. That's awesome. Now, in the starters, do they come with an example of something like that?
They do not. No. There's QR codes on the starter decks to take you to like rules pages and stuff like that. And there's an example of what a starting army looks like in the reference rules. After the first time you play, you're not going to need to know more than that. So,
got it.
It's pretty easy. After you play 2 times, you're like,
sure. Yield your expertise here. What should I do to begin?
So you will shuffle your deck.
Okay.
I have no idea how shuffle these are.
We got 2.
So is it recommended to have counters and dice in this game?
Yeah. So it's great for someone who's like a dice goblin and loves dice, because if you're in an RPG session, you may roll your die 5 times in an hour, depending on how the session's going. You're gonna roll your die 5 times in half a dozen interactions in this game. So if you've got lots of dice that all need love.
Is it a D20 based or a D6 based?
It is D20 based.
D20.
People will often use D6s to mark things. So whether that be wounds or...
Sorry to interrupt real quick. Can I run the Zaxxon challenge for Nigel?
Is this top 4?
Yeah, you got top 4.
Okay, yeah, so top 4 in this thing you hit will get the Zaxxon challenge. You can run the Zaxxon challenge for Nigel. And then there's a couple other people on that piece of paper that you Zaxxon challenge. Okay.
That's cute. There's the Python knight running around like better half. Was just over there like, you gotta get a good game.
Yeah.
I was doing the coconut thing. Sorry.
That's fun. So we will draw 5 cards.
Okay. Do you want me to just go ahead and play open-handed? Is that useful?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just so I can kind of help interaction-wise.
Okay.
And so maybe people can see them if they got and then after you draw your hand, you will roll initiative. Okay. Add your second die here, any die. Oh, there you go.
20.
And now, there we go. So, conveniently, 20s in this game are an automatic success. So if you roll 20, you hit your thing, you succeed your check, you win initiative.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's critical success is always you got it. Critical failure, opposite. You always fail. You roll 1, you lose initiative regardless of any bonuses you have. So you will win initiative. On your turn, you have the option to perform any number of rolls. Okay. Pretty much any little thing you do is a roll. You can attack, which means spinning your guy and performing a melee strike at someone within 1 range. So
is there a term for that?
Spin.
Spin.
So you'd spin your guy, you'd target someone within 1 rank, you'd roll the die, and you'd see if you hit. You also have the option to play people. Characters interplay. Characters in this game. Characters interplay in the rank equal to their level. So level 3 would interplay in rank 3.
Oh, so rank 1, rank 2, rank 3.
Yeah.
Even though this is a 5, that's...
Correct. He's your warlord, so he's special. You always start with a warlord in rank 3, regardless of what a warlord is. You have the option to play action cards, which again are your single use. If it is an order action card, anyway, there may be action cards because of the only action cards here. There's one in your deck, but you can use that as an order to do whatever it says on the action card, then just the store pile, or you can equip an item. To equip an item, and to play an action card, you have to be at least the level of the action, and your class needs to match. So there are 4 classes in the game. The gauntlet is fighter, the scroll is wizard, there's a spiky...
Oh, I see. So the color is not necessarily the class.
Correct, yeah. The spiky shield is cleric, and then that guy, yes, the glove is rogue. So to equip an item, same kind of thing, you have to match class, and then you take the rank that you are in and add your level. And so he's level 5 in rank 3, so you can equip up to level 8 items, so level 4 item would be you can even equip a level 4 item to a level 2 character in rank 2. That is as much cost for things as there is in this game. Where you play it, if you can play it, if you meet the requirements to perform the action, that's the only sort of cost structure. Otherwise, it's just you play your cards and move around.
Nice.
With these demo decks, the thing to do is to start attacking each other. So that would be awesome.
So, just to make sure, is my action, your action, my action, you just rotate attacking?
Yes, yeah, you do an order, I do an order, you do an order, I do an order.
So for an order here, I would just say, now you always start with like the front rank, or like I really wanted to...
So if you perform a melee strike, so like if this guy attacked, a melee strike can only target characters within 1 rank. So 1 rank would be here to here, here to here. So you can't, nor do you want to attack your own people, so obviously you're not going to do that. So you attack with these guys because this is 1 rank here to here. That's why a lot of these cards like this are, yes, because your other option, also a standard order for RPG, is called maneuvering. You can move your people, so you can, but you spin them to do so. So you can spin this guy to move him forward.
Is there a limit on the number of each
Yes.
row?
So if you may not have more characters in a rank behind than in front. So if these 2 characters were to die, for example, rank 2 would have 2 people versus this 1. That creates what's called an illegal rank, which you have to correct immediately. It basically pauses gameplay and you fix it.
So would one of those 2 have to be a rank?
Yes, and they would, a ready character, you get to decide, as the owner of the group, you get to decide who falls, and you would spin a ready character who falls forward, you would stun a spin character, so there's a full 180 character.
Oh, okay.
If a stun character falls forward, there's nothing.
Alright, well, I guess starting off the shindig, we're going to spin, and how would that...
So you will spin, you will target, so you've already done 2 out of 3 correctly, and you will roll your die.
Okay, so rolling the dice adds what to it?
So you will roll the die and you'll add your attack bonus. So +1 is 16. You're looking to meet or beat.
Meet or beat, okay. So because that's 9, that's 16,
Yes, you're good to go. So by default, all strikes do 1 wound. This guy has 1 hit point. So he's
it would just straight up go up. Is there any, like, you can block for, or like, you know, kind of guardian or paladin style? Like
no, there may be reacts, like cleric action, like spells that, you know, reduce somebody's wounds or save them or make you do something special. And I will go ahead and actually correct for you, just for the sake of argument. With this deck in particular, it's better to attack with your middle individual, because these guys have a limited react, so basically interrupt type, to redirect a strike. The reason it's advantageous to attack in the middle, obviously, is because if I strike here, you can redirect it to someone who has already acted this turn. So we
doesn't like
correct. If it just says limited react or react, you do not have to spin to perform it. It would say spins if you needed to spin to perform the action, such as this. That's a spin order, so you spin to perform it. Limited is once per turn. So again, you order, I order, you order, I order until we both pass consecutively. That is considered a turn. So the once per turn would be once during that back and forth before we pass consecutively.
So then I did something, you did something.
Yes, so I have not yet. Yeah, so I'm going to attack here, which you'll want to react and move here just to save a strike.
Got it. So then react, we'll put it here, which would then knock this,
then I get to try and hit you, and I may not. 10 plus 2 is 12, which will get it. Yeah, so good to go.
Where's there a discard?
Yep. And then these
a difference how they
no, so excuse me. Obviously, as you know, adjacency matters, so it's characters next to characters. But most people will just habitually correct their stuff so that it's cleaner. You could do it like that if you want.
And this is still legal because there are 2 and 2 and 1. Right?
Correct. As long as you do not exceed.
Are there any kind of range abilities? Like I could maybe somebody could maybe or try to go.
Yeah. So this guy has a spin order that is +5 range, which would be over 1. So from here to here, or from here to.
It looks like this is even easier to hit. That's
Yep. I don't know how many range strikes in my front rank, but if I did, that would, yes, be easier to do.
Because range is 1. So how far?
So a melee strike is always within 1 rank, and a range strike is always over 1. So 2 ranks.
Got it. So you don't have
Okay, yes, correct.
Oh, so the ranks continue across, as in this is
yes, correct. Or, yeah, so your rank 3, 2, 1, my rank 1, 2, 3. So this rank is adjacent to this rank. Yeah, and this rank is adjacent to this rank.
So on. Okay. Good to know.
So I hit your guy, so that is your
Lock one over at the one that's absolutely not
but I like
spin. Yep. So you will roll your die, add your +1 attack. 5 is I will go ahead and do my +5 range strike.
I feel like with that
and target here. Which you have the ability to reroll. Save yourself a strike, basically. And 13 plus 5 will be 18.
Oh, the dice can feel the combo.
That immediately creates what you said, I believe, is illegal.
How do you miss those though? I mean, yeah, it's so bad.
The penalty would be
I was done. So bad. I was in bad state.
Interrupts play, it does not take your order, so that just happens.
I was, but I was like,
So would it be beneficial to
I can't kill and ultimately.
Yes, either throw a character or this guy basically. This is I'm big orc smash man. I come to front and hit you in the face. Okay. So you could move him forward in order to help support these guys.
That's a limited order. So
It would be once per turn. Yeah. So you could do this, and then after we pass it, next turn you can do it again. Or you have some other movement cards. I would fix it this way.
Sounds like
Now.
that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
Well, you don't always have to have something in all 3 ranks. It's just if
No.
this gets defeated, if your warlord gets
It's powerful to be
killed, then you're
Yes, and theoretically you have infinite number of ranks, so there are like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 characters, so you can build back to larger things. So traditionally dragons are like larger level characters, so there are decks that are solely built around being stable and not dying, and then building back to those big guys, bring them up front, and then wrecking
We have 2
them.
so it's kind of like
this is all happening where we haven't we're still
Correct.
these are a little bit more
Yes, so we're all in the first turn. We do not draw until we both pass consecutively, in which point we discard any cards we don't want, and then we draw back up to 5. I'm going to go ahead and play this card, Charm
She's
Person,
healing
with
and ready.
Tazy. So it says order target lower level character may not attack.
Okay.
Target it's like he cannot attack.
Cannot attack.
So this is like
He's unable to do that.
mercenaries are like neutral.
Just making
You
sure.
have to use them with themselves, but obviously you can play a lot with those. If you want to play your
If this can attack, then limited was once per war, I can continue to move forward? Or is that still within the same?
We're still within the same turn, right? Because we're still within the same back and forth. So you would have the option to do something like charge to move forward, right? You could also equip this Warlord, which would give you +1 attack to all your strikes. So bonuses on items add to any melee strike you put.
So if I put that
It gives him +1 attack, so +5% to your rolls. And then you also have this order on here that is spend it to move order rank. So you would equip as one order, and then next order you could spend it to move.
got it. So let's try it. It's go for it. So, and I'm assuming just equip.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. Yep, some people will do it this way, some people will do it this way. Usually it's this way so that you also see the AC.
Because that number's probably not actually. Well, by the way.
Yeah. Well, and then there are other items that give you bonuses to defense.
Yeah. I don't want to get into the weeds with that. I was about to say, I was like, then how it is.
So far,
playing them as a player. Yeah, but typically the
Especially these two.
like the Warlord. Let's say she was
It's easier to do a learn to play where you're talking. I will do spin order for a +5. And we'll go ahead and go with this mad pack.
With the starting always is.
Yep.
Always
So I could theoretically.
You could, but he would have to spin, which you don't really want.
I can start play, but I can't use 2 level 1 start. Or their Warlords
Okay.
I start with an additional thing.
Then it would be mine.
But it's on
Yes,
explicitly that.
something you get somebody else out of it.
Well, if you play somebody else, I'm just going to kill somebody else and it's going to fall forward. It's probably better to go ahead and move him forward, and then you have the ability to build back.
Got it.
Because you can play a 2 and play a 3. So you can't, what you can't do is play a level 3 when you have no 2 to support it, because you can't play 2 legal rank. But you have this 2 that you'll be able to play. Yeah, and you're going to go this one, because this one has a spin order, because otherwise you get clogged, right? Correct.
This seems like a very long-term cycle because you have the ability to placement and movement.
Yes, exactly. So a lot of this game is about how and when you do things. Some people say, oh, I don't like the dice aspects because it makes it more random. But the how and when you do things and the which strike is more which person is more advantageous to target because I have a better chance of hitting them. That comes into play way more often than. Now, of course, you have randomly. I roll really well, you roll really bad. My bad deck beats your good deck. That's so you're up there. You're gonna back face in minutes. I am going to go ahead and attack with this bone
good or is it a
kill.
It's a
Can't be
what's called the saga format, which would be like
That's when you ought to do it.
rip down the discard.
all the cards and once our first rotation happens, we'll have a new non-rotating format.
But it sounds like I can take some opportunity to, instead of trying to just go out something, you could play things too, but I can start putting throwing stuff out. So I would just actually put that, it would just live there, it just goes right into that rank.
Correct. I am going to play this Mistress.
Once you control no warlord,
And then now that I have round 3, I don't know if it be better to start with one or the other?
Yeah, I would start with this one. It doesn't matter a whole lot, but that's
There's always, I know. I always generally kind of like the general rule of thumb. But it's a fun thing.
you can move characters into those ranks, so I'm going to go ahead and spin this forward.
I would sit up there.
Oh, that's that 180.
So I would run.
And when you're doing that, you can put this anywhere. When you play characters, if I were playing a level 1, I can put it into play at any point. And when I'm falling forward, characters are moving characters, I can put this anywhere.
Is there any detriment to that character being like that? Like, how does that get back to being?
Sure. So at the end of the turn, everything goes, I like to say 90 degrees in the happy direction. 90 degrees towards upright. So spin becomes ready.
What's your next thing? It's not till 2:30.
Yep.
And those are the only 3 positions. It's ready. Is it exhausted or it's, I'm sorry, there's stunned. What's this one called again?
Spent.
Spent, and then ready.
And on top of that, it's right there. Because I'm doing the true dungeons at 2:30.
So you can't play into the ring.
And that's a great answer.
So you would either need to spin that forward, or you have the option. This guy does have the same one
move forward one rank. But by doing the move forward one rank, that creates an illegal, which means that goes up.
Right. It almost saves you an action because you're going to want to do that at some point. So rather than spinning her forward and then moving her forward, you move him forward.
I see. That's a cascading thing.
Yeah. It saves you from doing this. Now, there are situations where it is advantageous to stop and do things more. But in this case, you're all about speed.
Got it. That's what I'll do.
I am going to go ahead and play my second charm person from the turn so he can draw the schedule.
Okay.
But see, you can see how it changes the cards because this is now.
Over there. What's going on?
Warlord is
It means he cannot equip items.
Okay.
So your catapult can't equip items. I will play Tresvin here. He has an inter-react, which is +4 range strike against target spent character. So it'll be a +4 here.
Alright, so we're going up for 10. Yeah.
So that's an additional rank away. So it is here to here, but then here. Does that make sense? So it's a range strike. A range strike would normally be over 1, right? But this has additional rank, so you can go all the way to my first rank.
Holy moly. Okay.
I didn't feel like you went close about the fact that
Do that +5.
Yeah. That's going to
No.
Yeah, it's fine.
Taking your time. I will
Yep.
15.
That'll do it. But
this game was around.
So that creates the rank system.
I'm going to use it's a skill check. So you roll the die.
I can
Add your skill. 16 is equal to or greater than the DC. So nothing happens. Otherwise you will suffer.
Got it, which would have can I leverage this to move forward?
So this is classes and not a fighter. You can move this forward that will stun that and basically stop you from being able to use that next turn, which is 50-50. Like, that way you can do +6 strike with her, but you won't be able to +5 strike with him. It's, I don't know, 6.5 doesn't do it.
I'll leave it where it is for now because I think I have an idea for how to get that out. So, all right.
Sure.
I guess I have no.
He can attack.
He can still attack. So let's do.
So he has 3 strikes. So that's what the slashes means. When he attacks, he gets all 3 strikes, and you add this to all of them, so it'll be a 9/7/7. So he basically he
Do I have to pick different colors?
you do not have to target all at the same time. You go one at a time.
All right. Well, let's start with the 9 on the.
He demoed to me and I nodded. Basically, he just asked me questions and I nodded the whole time because he intuited everything basically from the beginning. I mean, I had like 5 minutes of word vomit, and then I was like, "You're nodding so much, we're just gonna play." And the whole time he's just like, "If I do this and this and this, I do that," and I'm just like, "Yes, you know everything already."
Wow, that really just
Yeah. That's his whole thing. He comes up, he hits me.
so much.
This guy's gonna shoot.
I love it.
Not with these decks, but yeah, there's
got a playable card.
possibility.
So it's got a Brian.
Usually it's like a rogue
The other side is fun.
with stealth, so you can stealth into.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Appreciate it. Congrats on getting this out.
Which are a more complicated aspect of the game. But yes, it is technical. He's going to use his spin order for a friend range strike. See if I can hit your way.
Okay.
So your dragon
14
comes down, you put your mana in the battlefield, and search the
Yeah,
one
summoning. I will pass. I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
Spin
Well, I want to attack your goblin with my Merfolk. You can't attack for your goblin. I'm here and then it's there. I'm
Again,
choosing your one.
she has a limited order target up to 2 characters in any discard pile, so I'm going to use yours.
Well, you're attacking
because that would naturally be better, but doesn't really matter for these games.
Yeah, where are you? I'm
You banish up to 2 cards. So
And by the way, I have 20 life.
and then you perform a +3 range check for each banish. So it'll be 2 +3 range.
It's a great game.
Okay.
So we'll go your Warlord again. So get that going some more. What do we get? 14 total again. 11 plus the 2. And then one more time again.
Deadly.
Yeah, there you go.
Deadly.
And then I will pass, which means we will turn everything 90 degrees towards upright.
Where are you from? Oh, terrible. No, I'm just kidding.
Up to 5. You can either keep that in anticipation of using it, or you can discard it.
Complete opposite Jersey. No, they're from Jeff Mingus from Ron.
Okay.
And then we will distribute.
Also, it's going to be
That's good.
I'm assuming it's in the game.
You guys are working
They're snooty.
I'm not in. I'm assuming that you guys are
I'm going to go ahead and let's go here.
Did you get them to stand in?
Excuse me?
Did you get them to stand in just for our body?
Oh,
Well, we met
I did a demo like
No, I know. It's just
the same started doing it.
Can we do a demo?
if you ask Patrick or
we do a demo?
Todd,
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Did you want to scan us?
I would love for somebody in the front there. Yeah.
Okay.
Patrick can do it. Yeah. Will you scan them, some of them into a learning place?
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, I'm going to start here by spinning here and say let's try it. So let's go here.
It's going to be one of those games where if you want initiative, if I want initiative, I have a chance. If I didn't want initiative.
Knowing and cards, two separate things, same skill, which is weird. But you know, knowing exactly how.
I can still use an order while I'm spent, but I can't attack. And it's her order is a range strike, so over 1 range.
Start talking to computers.
What I do have though is ball lightning. So it's order.
So if I fail this, you will just, I'm done.
Yes, you're done.
Comes down to the dice. GG.
Otherwise, I was basically out for the count. I didn't have anything else that.
And that's how the dice makes it seem more fun, right? You are technically down for the count.
Which, like, I
have the ability to be forward and
here's the big thing.
swing for the fences with these because that's a pretty good.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
yeah,
and you could have done this strike before that. You have this strike in your hand as well. Yeah, so many. So like, if I hadn't had the ball lightning, there was no way. And even with the ball lightning, it was a very close game where you would just, the whole purpose of that deck is to just run it.
So how in the future, or as an example, is this a print-to-play deck?
These are the 2 decks that are available currently for print and play. There's also, we have here a dwarf and a mercenary. They're not online yet. They will be after Gencon as soon as we have time to actually
So we blew past all this.
get them.
We didn't update that graphic until like 24 hours because the designer, graphic designer, and myself were awake for 37 hours. We both collapsed, so it just sat there.
Obviously, you do not have any physical of these.
Because we literally, it was a
not physical, no.
I think
And these were just a short
the
run
thing that I
for
heard that was like the worst for everyone is
They don't even
they updated
Yeah,
the
that was
servers,
my
so now
other
you don't
question.
have
So
to
the earlier
crash.
cards,
They just take that.
all cards have that.
And,
So, when these
like,
got
no,
printed,
please don't do that.
in
Go back to the
today
old way where I can't have it on a
the
screen.
old cards that were printed in a different facility, different
I need to have to go
hardware,
physically
different
press the
equipment.
button.
How
I
did
think
you
it was Matt
make
Forbeck
sure
who
the
told me
colors
this. He's
were
like, it was the worst day of my life.
Where when I
Just
were to
watching
stuff
that
up
go
old
up.
cards, I
Like,
get people
come on,
can't
it's
see
like,
those cards.
it's been like 5 minutes
Are
since
they
I've been
very
done
close? Are they
anything.
within
No,
a...
so the cards have never, for the entire production run of the game, been
He said that
the same.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so the first production run of the game, I would say cards were at least towards the front. They were somewhere a little thicker, or borders were wider. Maybe cards were themselves were a little thicker. Not necessarily like this is just kind of how it happened. And then during the fourth edition of the game, when
Yeah,
I which is a completely different facility printer, etc. And the corners aren't cut the same roundness. So they aren't quite the same. And then, yeah, when you're playing in sleeves, it's all good. And then for this, we've actually reduced the size of the card ever so slightly, because originally it was produced as like oversized, so like 63.5 instead of 63 millimeters. So they don't fit into like perfect fit sleeves, but they will now, because we're gonna standardize it along with everything else. So
by doing that,
weird company that can't fit in perfect fits.
then we'll create opportunities
If
for
you're willing to do
And
that.
one thing I've seen
And this
recently
back,
has been
and when we say production delays, it's this kind of thing, like having to make
publishing
sure
other
that
people's stuff
everything is the right size.
because they are
Or at least that's a
Only
process.
the one person correction. That's what people don't understand.
I know.
larger than mine would be.
People are impatient,
My
but
small
sometimes the
Pixars
extra
are
weight
Yes,
always
so
works.
I know, exactly. Yeah, it's
And,
always good to make
and
sure
then
it's correct.
Kickstarter on that kind of thing. So my best is putting out a game that isn't weird bullshit that you can show like we should publish
That is
this.
a pretty good
Hey,
example of
you
what
guys
it
want
is.
to publish it?
I will say this is an example of how Wizards is an opera, and it's a very good example of how Wizards are often crunchy versus like fighters are often a beefy guy that, as you can see, if you hit him, he dies. If he hits you first, you win.
That's the standard for Kickstarter because
And that's a very, I turn my cards sideways, either it worked or it didn't. Whereas this usually the more strategy to this sort of deck with the wizard is like, okay, when and how I use my spell,
white box top left next to my
what's
key.
gonna work.